4 years have passed since the mortal races banded together and stood united against the might of the Burning Legion. Though Azeroth was saved, the tenuous pact between the Horde and the Alliance has all but evaporated. The drums of war thunder once again.
World of Warcraft, the biggest MMORPG on the market for the past 17 years. You've probably been thinking about starting and you just don't know where or how to start. Well, I promise you that you have clicked the perfect video. My name is French Bertie and I've been playing this for the past 13 years. I'm here to give you some much needed help with the first few stages of the game, and I will help you choose a race, a class, and understand the early stages of combat and show you some very important features just to help you get going. I wanted to keep this guide short and brief so that it doesn't drag on. Without further ado, let's get into Azeroth. If you have any questions, you can comment in the section below, and if you want a quicker response, feel free to message me on Twitter. I will try my very best to answer every single question to the best of my ability. When you click on World of Warcraft for the first time, you won't need to work your way through about 16 years of expansions. Unlike other MMORPGs out there, these expansions are not stacked on top of each other, and each expansion gives you some sort of a fresh start. Each expansion gives you a new level and forces you to play the latest content. Now it's time to really jump into Azeroth. With the latest version of World of Warcraft, you need to pick a server. Blizzard have made it so much easier than it used to be with phasing with your group, but let's save that for another day. My advice would be to pick a server and play with friends. If you haven't got any friends on the game, I'm sure you'll make many on your mystical and magical adventures. You can pick from 3 kinds of servers: PvP, PvE, or RP. They stand for player versus player, players versus environment, or role-playing. Not a clue what to pick? I suggest a cool name, or at least a high to medium population. Your enjoyment of the game could potentially rely solely on the economy, and if you're not able to meet friends, new players, play content, then you could be very disappointed. Now that we've picked your server, let's go and see what character to pick. This will be your first character. Here, ladies and gentlemen, we have the character customization screen. On the right hand side, we have the Horde characters, their races, and on the left hand side, we have the Alliance, also with their available races. Once upon a time, there was not as much customization and variation in the World of Warcraft. Originally, there was only on the Horde side Orc, Undead, Tauren, and Troll, and on the Alliance, Human, Dwarf, Night Elf, and Gnome. Now you're probably sat here right now looking at this video thinking, well, there's so much to pick from, what do I pick? I, as I originally said, would highly suggest picking something you like the look of. I was always a big fan of Tauren and Horde looking characters. And when High Mountain Tauren came out, I was a bigger fan of High Mountain Tauren. Again, you have so much variety. Pick wisely, but remember, you can have up to 10 characters on a server. And with those 10 characters, you can have a mix of Alliance or Horde. I would highly suggest playing what feels best for you. Now, I'm going to brush over the classes that are available for you to play. Now let's move on to the first class available, a warrior, which is a melee based character. It has 2 roles in the game. It can either be a tank or it could be a melee DPS. With tanks, they usually wear a shield and a sword. Now moving on to Hunter. Hunter is a ranged or melee based DPS. They also have pets available. As you can see, these have always been a very, very powerful or at least very, very balanced class to pick. Next we have Mage. Mage again is a ranged DPS only. These can be 3 different specializations: Frost, Fire, or Arcane, and they are very, very powerful characters. Moving on, we have Rogue. Rogue is the assassin role in the game. Sneaky, crafty, melee DPS only, can go invisible, has lots of cooldowns, and is very, very tricky to deal with if played right. Next we move on to Priest, which can be played by not Orc, but if you hover over, you can see on the left and right hand side the classes it can be played by. Priest is a healer or ranged DPS. Shadow spec is very, very powerful as well if played correctly, and also one of the strongest healers, using big powerful heals or bubbles to protect. Next we move on to Warlock. Warlock is a shadow and fire based magic dealing DPS, can only be played as a ranged. It has multiple demons that it can summon, and has been a very, very, very strong DPS for many, many expansions. If played correctly, like all classes, can be one of the best. Now we move on to my personal favourite, a Paladin. Paladins can tank, heal, and DPS. One of 3 classes that can do it all in the game. In my opinion, this is one of the most well-rounded classes in the game. Great for tanking, as it has an AoE effect to tank multiple enemies at the same time. A very strong solo healer, and also a very good burst DPS. Now we move on to Druid. Druid is one of the other hybrid classes. This can tank, heal, melee DPS, and range DPS. It's a shape-shifting character, very, very balanced at all 4 roles. I would highly suggest playing it as a healer, as it's very, very strong, has very good mobility, but if you pick this character you will not be disappointed. Now we move on to Shaman. It can do 2 of the roles, healer or DPS, as you can see below. Ranged and melee DPS, extremely powerful burst melee DPS, and in my opinion the strongest raid healer. I would highly suggest rolling this character if you like elemental and magical spells. Next up in line is a recently introduced class, Monk. Best played as a Pandaren, if you ask me. This can also tank, heal, and DPS, very much like a Paladin and Druid. This is the last of the most versatile classes available. It uses something very different to other characters. It uses Chi, has incredible mobility, and is a very fun character to play. This character was brought into play in Mist of Pandaria. Second to last, we have Demon Hunter. This can only be played by, if I am correct, a very few amount of races. Demon Hunter is the most recent class to have been brought into the game. Lots of fun to play, great mobility, can be played as a tank or a melee. And finally, we go on to Death Knight. Death Knight was brought into the game in Wrath of the Lich King. This is a very, very strong plate wearing class. It can either tank or melee DPS. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go and create our first character. I'm going to simply go Blood Elf, Paladin. I'm going to go customization. This gives you a lot more variation than it used to. Before, back in the day, there was about 3 to 4 customizations. Now we're looking at pretty much every style possible, including hair customization, facial customization, up to 13 options, ears, long, medium, short, and multiple eye color, even giving you a variety of different eyes. I'm just going to randomize for the sake of this video, and we're going to go with a name that I've used before, Bert. Now, in the latest version of the game, you have two options. You can either start where your selected race would usually start. For Blood Elves, this would be Sunstride Isle. However, for the purpose of this video, I'll be clicking Exile's Reach. And here, let's enter into the game.
You are a soldier of the mighty Horde. A disparate band of races united in their pursuit of freedom, honor, and glory. A Horde expedition sent to explore an uncharted island has recently gone missing. As a bold new recruit, you have joined a rescue mission departing from Orgrimmar. Find the lost expedition members and bring them home. For the Horde!
And here, ladies and gentlemen, you load into the game, gives you all the options you need to help you to learn to play the game. As you can see at the start, WASD, W is forwards, A is rotate left, D is rotate right, and S is travel backwards. Left click is to target an option, included tab. As you can see, tab alternates between targets, and to right click would cause me to attack the dummy. See here. Pressing 1 for a paladin or your chosen class will do your primary attack.
Fine work. Next week.
Again, to hand in a quest, you need to right click on the quest giver, you need to left click complete. We've gained experience. We must pick up the next quest. And these are the basics of the game. At this stage, on this boat, you will learn the basics. You can choose to have your camera further out or further in.
Never run from your foe. Victory or death. Always face your enemy.
I prefer to hold down the right mouse button to give me a better option for aiming and mobility. And just like that, I've leveled up. You have the option to left click bottom right hand corner or press P. Then you click on the spell and you want to drag it onto your toolbar. This gives you another attack. Again, right click the NPC and left click complete quest.
The Horde leaves no one behind. Warlord, this storm will soon overwhelm us.
Soldiers, brace yourselves. Stay focused on our mission. Recruit, you survived. We need to regroup at once.
And just like that, the ship is capsized. You arrive onto Exile's Reach. Again, right click the NPC and left click to accept. I highly suggest playing with volume on the game. It makes it a lot more appetizing and enjoyable. This part of the game will walk you through every stage. Find nearby objectives. You can click on this tracking option and see what is selected. Now that we have picked up the quest, we can press L to view our map and quest log. If you shift left click, an option will appear on the right hand side. These are the objectives of the quest. The only enemy in front of us are Murlocs. Again, right click the Murloc to attack, press 1 on your toolbar and right click to loot the corpse. Left click and left click. It is quite simple. If you struggle with the looting system, press escape on your keypad, go into interface, into controls and auto loot. Press OK and simply watch what happens. When I right click the loot, it will automatically be picked up. Now that we've looted, I'll speed through this quest so that we can get on to the next part. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, whenever you level up on this island, you will gain a spell. Level 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Remember, right click the NPC and left click to continue. Remember, if I go through these quests a lot quicker than you, it's because I've played the game for many years and I understand the quests and I've already read them. Now we've arrived at the next part of the questing. You can see down the bottom right hand corner, the game is telling you to press B. B is how you enter into your bags, and C is how you enter into your character panel. The game is asking me to drag and equip this item. You can either drag and equip, or you can simply right click. Remember, on this island, you will be walked through everything that you need to know. Pressing M for your next destination. Remember to shift left click the quest. As you can see in the top right hand corner, it's highlighted where you need to be. Now, for the purpose of the video, if I zoom through, it's because I want you to be able to enjoy the quests on your own. They're not for me to be enjoying. These are for me to be teaching you guys how the game works. Now, ladies and gentlemen, again, press P on your keypad and bring down the spell onto your panel. For this quest, ladies and gentlemen, you need to fight the Warlord. She will teach you how to do combinations that will suit your character. Here, with the Paladin, I'm being told to use Crusader Strike to build up Holy Power. When I have 3 Holy Power or 5 Holy Power, I'm able to perform another attack called Shield of the Righteousness.
You're out of holy power, so use Crusader Strike to generate more.
These quests, again, will teach you the basics of your class. As you can see here, abilities used. Remember, the whole purpose of this island is so that you learn your character and you learn the game.
We won't rest
If you enjoy your character or you do not enjoy your class whilst on this island, I would highly suggest that you re-roll or you play another character so that you can learn and enjoy the class. Now we move on to the next section. Right click NPC, left click complete quest. Now you have multiple quests to be picked up. You need to individually pick them both up. Press L, shift left click, shift left click. Again, you can see here on the mini map that these are very nearby. I'm playing a class that can heal, so if I use Flash of Light, that will consume mana and regenerate my health. As you can see on the map, there is a star. The star would mean that it's a rare character. They recently introduced the stars on the map in one of the latest expansions. If you want some rarer loot or you want some cool items, potentially a mount or cosmetics, I would definitely suggest attacking these rare animals or these rare monsters. They tend to give you good loot, and in this situation, I'm pretty sure it does. Sometimes they're elites, sometimes they're a little bit harder than the normal people. And just like that, I've obtained a new cloak. I press C, I've already equipped it.
More sacrifices for the ritual.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now have to kill Geolord Gregor.
Intruder, you will be our next sacrifice.
When you see swirliness on the floor, I highly suggest you move out. At the start, you will very much do like I've just done to show you, backpedal. But in the future, you'll very quickly swivel on the spot. Something else I would highly suggest you look out for is treasure boxes. Again, this island is here to teach you the game. Treasure boxes appear on the mini-maps and they also are glowing purple. When you loot them, you do gain experience. Hammer of Justice is a very, very important attack for paladins.
You're not safe just yet. Where are the others?
Remember to right click items. And just like that, you've completed 50 quests. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I leave you with the rest of the island to explore and to complete on your own. I feel that I've just done half of the levels for you and to help you understand the game. The next part of the island is where the fun really begins and you really learn a lot about the game and how incredible it really is. I highly suggest you immerse yourself into the game, and as I've previously mentioned a couple of times, if you don't enjoy the class that you end up rolling, I really suggest re-rolling before you finish the island so that when you do finish, you can really get involved into the game. I hope you liked the video, and if you like what you've seen, please like, comment, and subscribe, share, and I hope to see you in the future. Thank you very much for your time. My name is French Bertie. Peace. If you guys have liked what you've seen, then please check me out on all my socials. I'm on twitch.tv/FrenchBertie, Instagram, YouTube, which is where you're watching this video, TikTok, and Facebook. Thank you very much for your time, and I hope you enjoyed the video.